Hi everyone, and welcome to our Chin Above the Bar focus group. This program is designed to help you nail your very first chin up. So if this has been a goal of yours for some time, now is the time to be putting in the work and getting it done. Now, getting your first chin up, chin above the bar, unassisted, it's not going to happen by accident. It is going to take your practice, your commitment. This 5-week program is designed so that you can break up in small sections, little bits of homework that you can be doing across the week. So there are 3 sessions that will probably take you about 10 minutes. This program can be done at home if you have some equipment in your house that will help you get it done. You will need a chin-up bar or a place for you to be performing your chin-ups, something that you can be anchoring resistance bands off. You'll also need a set of rings or suspension straps and possibly a piece of PVC, a dowel or a broomstick. If you're choosing to do this session in 23W, the idea is that you can be including these sessions in your current workout program. So say for example, you're coming into your normal workout on a Monday. What you could do is just implement these 10 minutes of training or homework into your normal workout and substitute out some of the exercises that's written for the day. What you could also do is you could stay back for an extra 10 minutes, providing that your coach has nowhere to be, and you could be getting those extra few workouts or exercises done in that time. But remember guys, it is your consistency that's going to help you get your chin above the bar. So it is important that you keep working through your program sequentially so that you are progressively getting stronger. This program is designed to improve the strength of your grip in your forearms. It's also designed to improve your pulling capacity in your arms and your back, and be making sure that you have the strength both in your back, your core, and everywhere else to actually be able to nail your first chin up. There is also a certain level of skill involved in getting your first chin up, so re-establishing or establishing that motor control is also really important. So let's jump into the exercises that you can expect to find in this 5-week program. Shoulder dislocates. You want to take your hands to the outside of your dowel or broomstick, and keeping the arms nice and straight, we're warming up the chest and shoulders, increasing the mobility as we wrap the dowel up and through. Keep the rib cage down and place your hands the width on the dowel stick that allows you to get a nice stretch without it being impossible to pass the dowel over. A scap pull-up is performed up on your chin-up bar. You want to grip the bar firmly with your hands, coming into a full hang, allowing your scaps to lengthen. Then what we want to do is we want to pull our chest through our shoulders, retracting our shoulder blades down and back. We then go back into a passive hang and then repeat, coming up into a nice active hold, pulling the shoulder blades down our back. A beat swing is performed up on your chin-up bar. You want to jump and grip hold of the bar firmly, making sure your thumbs are around the bar. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving our legs backwards and forwards, using our core to help support us move from a hollow body hold back into extension. An active pull-up bar hang is very similar to our scap pull-ups. Instead, what we're hoping to do is to be able to hold our shoulder blades down and back in that beautiful retracted position. This one here is going to be an exercise you're doing for time. We want to grip hold of the bar firmly, coming up into our active hold, making sure the core is switched on, assuming that small little hollow body hold, switching everything from the core to the shoulder blades nice and tight to allow us to build strength in this position. A scap push-up is performed in a push-up position. You can either be on your knees or on your toes, and you're wanting to alternate your scap position from being protracted to retracted. Once again, we're building all of the small muscles that help to keep our shoulder blades down and back. So getting into a position, as I said, either knees or toes, and as you progress, hopefully you're able to find your way up onto your toes. We start with protraction, where we round through the shoulder blades, pressing the floor away, and then coming into retraction where the shoulder blades pull down and back. Back up to protraction and then into retraction. Moving those shoulder blades and allowing the shoulders to be gliding across your back as you move from one position to the other. An inchworm to push up is where we're lengthening out through our hamstrings, taking our hands flat to the floor, going into a full high support position, and then coming down into a push up. So we're going to lengthen out through the hamstrings, walk our hands out to a high plank. From here, we're dropping down to a push up either on our toes or knees, 45-degree angle with our elbows, and then driving back up through our hands, coming back up to a standing position. A plank hold is an exercise you've probably done quite a few times in the gym. We want to come down onto our forearms. Hopefully you're at the point of being up on your toes, and we're going to be holding this one for a length of time. So down onto your elbows, you can either clasp your hands to the front or lay them flat on the ground. We want to make sure that our ribs are pulled down towards our hips, so we're getting great core activation and engagement, and we're holding our body without sagging through our hips. This one here is going to be building abdominal strength, and it is a great one to be doing for time because once again, it is building the strength in your core. A feet elevated ring row is a huge progression on from your standard ring row. You're performing this one with your feet up on a step or bench and coming into a nice inverted position. So to start off with, grip hold of the rings tightly, take your feet or your heels up onto your bench. And before we start, we want to make sure that we get great shoulder blade retraction, pulling our shoulder blades down and back. From there, we pull our elbows into our hip pockets as we pull ourselves up to the rings and then return back to our starting position. A standard ring row is done with you holding onto the rings and your feet in contact with the floor. The further you go underneath your anchor support position, the harder this exercise will become. So place the heels onto the ground, take the arms out into full extension. Before we start this exercise, we want to pull our shoulder blades down and back, pinching our shoulder blades together, and then pulling our elbows into the sides of our body. Then returning back to the starting position once we're done. A segmented ring row is going to have you separating the two movements of your shoulder retraction followed by your ring pull. So get yourself down and into your normal ring row position. Start with the protracted shoulders where the arms are getting pulled away from your body. Pull the shoulder blades down and back, pinching the shoulder blades together. Chest becomes proud. Elbows come into the side of the body. We then return back to the starting position and then once again let our shoulder blades protract, releasing them. Becoming nice and long on the rings. Going back into the exercise again, we pull our shoulder blades down and back and then follow it with a ring row. We're segmenting those two movements so that we're getting really great activation and strengthening through all those small muscles that support the scapula. A ring lat press down is performed with straight arms. It is a lot harder than your standard pull, so make sure that you change where you're placing your feet to make it easier or harder. Place the feet on the ground and you want to have your arms stretched out nice and long in front of the eye line. From here, we're going to drive our arms straight down to the thigh, getting our core on. And then as we return back to our start position, making sure we're keeping a nice straight arm as we come back down. Pulling our body through and then returning back to the start. With this exercise, you're really wanting to make sure that the drive is happening from your lats and that you're keeping your core switched on. A strict banded pull down is performed with a resistance band. Make sure you change the level of resistance band to match your strength. And our dowel. We place the dowel through the band and sit on the ground in an L-sit position. From there, we grip the dowel tightly, pulling our shoulder blades down and back, and then pulling the dowel down to the chest, brief hold at the bottom, and then returning back to the start. Pulling the band down to the chest, and then back through. With this exercise, make sure that you keep the tension out of your neck and you really try and practice that pull position coming from your lats. The next exercise is a single arm banded pull down. You want to attach your resistance band into the rig and then set yourself up into position with your arm nice and long. Make sure that you take the tension out of the band before you start to make sure that the exercise is going to be hard enough. Once again, do adjust the resistance bands because you will find that some of them will be easier or harder to pull. Loop your hand through the band, pull the shoulder blade down and back, and then we want to think about pulling the elbow into the side of the body and then extending back through. A toe spot pull-up is a fantastic way to be getting you to practice pulling your body weight above the bar while it's still being somewhat supported. You want to set yourself up on a high enough bench so that you can get enough leverage to pull yourself above the bar. If the box is too low, it is going to be a very much impossible exercise to do, especially at the start of the program. You want to set yourself up, taking hold of the bar in a chin-up position, making sure that the thumbs are also wrapped around the bar and the hands are being placed no wider than shoulder width apart. From there, we come onto the tips of our toes and then allow our knees to fall forward. From this position, it should look like a pull-up position of what you would normally do. And as we initiate the pull, we want to pull our shoulder blades down and back and drive with the arms while also using the legs to support us to get our chin above the bar. As we come back down, you want to make sure that you're controlling that down phase to allow yourself to really build the strength in that eccentric loading movement so that you're getting stronger every single rep. A chin over the bar hold is a great exercise to be building the endurance in your arms and your grip to allow yourself to hold the bar for the length of time needed to actually do your chin up. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the bar in a chin up position, making sure the thumbs are also around the bar and making sure you're holding your chin above the bar. We also want to make sure that we've got great tightness through our core, so get yourself into that nice little hollow body hold position as well. You're going to be doing this exercise for a length of time, so make sure you watch the clock. You can jump into position, get your chin above the bar, and then from there the hold starts. A banded pull-up negative is going to be getting you doing your pull-ups using a band, but really focusing on the eccentric part of the movement, which is where your body is moving from the chin above the bar into full extension. Make sure you don't cheat this movement. It is really important that you come down into a full extension position through the arms, so you're getting full range of movement with this exercise. So place your foot through the band, take a grip onto the bar. We're pulling our body up above the bar, chin above the bar, and then from there we're controlling the eccentric down part with a certain number of seconds that we need to control it. Coming to full extension with the arms before pulling the body back up above the bar. A single arm row is one that we perform quite often in the gym, and it is going to be building the strength in your back, building the strength in your row. You want to grab hold of a nice heavy dumbbell. The opposite hand gets placed onto your bench underneath the shoulder, and we extend out through the same leg that's going to be initiating the pull. Come into a nice long position through the shoulder, allow it to drop. From there, we want to retract the shoulder blade, pulling it down and back, and then from there we want to think elbow into the hip pocket as we pull the dumbbell in a 45-degree position, back and in. It's really important here that you keep your neck and your top part of your traps nice and relaxed, and that we also segment the movement by getting that beautiful shoulder retraction first and then going into our pull second. A hollow body hold is a fantastic core exercise that will be getting you to build your core strength, holding that nice stable banana shape. So from here, we're going to come over onto our back. And to regress this exercise, you might like to start in a tabletop position with your arms extended up. The most important aspect of this exercise is pressing down through our back and connecting it to the floor. Keeping that pressure or that squeeze down is making sure that you're actually engaging all of your deep core muscles. To progress this exercise on, we extend our legs out long and take our arms above our head. As we're doing this hold, it's really important that you keep that spine connected down and into the floor, and that you're pulling your rib cage down towards your hips. As I said, this exercise is a really important one to be developing that whole body tension that's needed to help you find the strength to drive yourself above the bar, so that you're getting the tension through the body that will allow you for your back to be able to pull yourself up and through.